Welcome back to the C-Suite. I'm Danielle Deshaw. In this segment, we are talking with certified nutritionist Bonnie Flemington. And if you've been feeling either slow and sluggish and having a hard time getting through your day, she's going to be helping us to really talk about how we can make some shifts in what we eat to help us feel energized and focused and get through our day. So welcome, Bonnie, to the show.
Thank you, Danielle, for having me.
So a big question I really have is really this feeling of being slow and sluggish and having a brain fog. How is that linked to our diet?
Well, there are a few things that it can be. And obviously, one of the things is sugar in our diet. You've probably heard before that sugar is not great for you, but both sugars and refined flours are abundant in our diet nowadays, and we don't even realize how much they're sneaking in. So, for example, just even first thing in the morning, one of our typical breakfasts might be either a cereal or a sugary granola, or maybe a bagel or a muffin. And these things are setting us up for poor blood sugar management during the day, the spikes and crashes in energy that we're experiencing. So, this is often a real root cause of the problem. It's creating inflammation in the body, and then that is leading to all this brain fog and trouble concentrating and focusing.
So you're talking about breakfast, so starting off your day right well. So a lot of times, like I just grab a coffee in the morning. So how can viewers really set up their days so that they're feeling themselves properly, so that they can not just get through the day, but get through it feeling really clear and energized?
Absolutely. One of the best things you can do at the beginning of the day is set up to have great, even energy. And that often comes with having a little more protein at breakfast. So many of us don't get quite enough at breakfast, where often, even if we're having a healthy breakfast like oatmeal or something, we might be coating it in sugar. So anywhere where we can fit in a few more sources of protein. So as an example, that might be, instead of topping your oatmeal with sugar, you might choose some higher protein sources such as hemp seeds or some slivered nuts or other seeds. You can even stir in either a protein powder or collagen, and add some great flavors with cinnamon and some berries on top. We can even replace, say, that bagel with a whole grain toast and top it with avocado and egg, as an example. And even if we can make some of our own, say, muffins at home, we can control the amount of sugar in there. We can add less sugar and perhaps some more nuts and other things that are going to add protein to that food.
So when we're talking, so that was breakfast. So when we're moving through our day, either through lunch or snacking, what are some shifts that viewers can make to really, again, eat the right foods that are going to help fuel them for the rest of the day?
Yeah, that's a great question, because so often, let's say you're between meetings and you just want to grab something quick. So there are a lot of great options that you can have ready, and they include a balanced macronutrients. So not just those sugary carbs like a donut or a muffin again, but perhaps some hard-boiled eggs, maybe some Greek yogurt with some fruit. You may also enjoy a piece of fruit or some veggies. There's lots of great dips out there as an option. And there's even some other snacks, seaweed snacks or kale chips and things like that can satisfy those that are after a crunch.
Mm-hmm. And when we look at kind of the workplace right now and where we're actually working, it could be either at home or actually in an office. Are there different ways that we can, shift or reshape our diet to help us fuel through that work day when your typical work day is no longer ending at 5 o'clock?
That's a great question as well. So often when we bring the foods into our day, we're fitting them in between meetings now, and we're not taking the time to really enjoy it, to really focus on our food. So a few tips that I have around that is, number one, make sure you're taking breaks in your day between your meetings, even just getting outside and getting a little sun in your face. But when it comes to your mealtime or your snack time, it is really important to focus on the food, and don't bring your food to your desk, but instead go to a space that you have dedicated for mealtime and really slow down, focus on your food, deep breathe a few times before you start. Because when we eat in a rushed or stressed state or a mindless state, our body is directing energy elsewhere to our fight or flight response that's coming from our stress, as an example, and away from digesting our food. So, unless we're eating in a really mindful manner and focusing on our food, we may end up with poorly digested food, indigestion. We're not absorbing the nutrients from our food as well. And that can itself also lead to gut inflammation and inflammation around the body that then it impacts our ability to concentrate and focus.
Mhm. And obviously diet goes along with sleep when it comes to being able to feel energized and really being able to work through your day from start to finish. So what can what tips do you have around people who have different sleep patterns because of their careers and any home obligations?
That's a great question. And we all have a slightly different routine, but whatever your routine is, it's important to stick with it. Have what we eat and how we sleep are actually very tightly connected. So not just what we eat, but also when we're eating. So in terms of what we're eating, sugary foods can end up with that blood sugar spike and crash. And if it's crashing in the night, then we're likely to wake up. And then in terms of organizing when we eat, our bodies really thrive on routine. And we want to have set meal times as much as possible that then support our sleep schedule. So for most people, they're awake during the day and sleeping at night. So you do want to have regular meal times and stop a few hours before you're going to head to sleep. So your body has a chance to process that food and then really rest at night.
Mhm. Well, thank you, Bonnie, for being here today, really talking about how we can really make some small changes to our diet to help us feel more energized, focused, and really help us get through our day from start to finish. So thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're most welcome. Thank you for having me.